The massive holographic projection flickered in the United Earth Council chamber, displaying the stern face of High Counselor Robert Wilson. His expression was grim as he addressed the emergency session of Earth's leadership. The news he carried would change humanity's future forever. "Ladies and gentlemen of the Council," Wilson began, his voice steady despite the weight of his words. "1 hour ago, we received a transmission from an organization calling itself the Galactic Council. They have issued an ultimatum that affects every human being on Earth and our colonies." The chamber erupted in whispers and concerned murmurs. Wilson raised his hand for silence before continuing. The message was clear. Earth must submit to their rule within 30 days, or face total extinction. They claim to represent over 200 spacefaring civilizations and have conquered thousands of worlds in their 10,000-year history. Admiral James Thompson stood up from his seat, his military medals gleaming under the chamber lights. "And what do we know about their capabilities, High Counselor?" Wilson nodded to a woman sitting in the shadows. "Dr. Emily Brown, our head of alien intelligence, will brief us." Dr. Brown stepped forward, her tablet projecting new images above the council table. "Over the past 5 years, our deep space monitoring stations have been tracking the Galactic Council's activities. They aren't lying about their conquests. We've witnessed them subjugate 3 civilizations in nearby systems." The images showed massive fleets of crystalline ships destroying planets, turning them into asteroid fields. The council members watched in horror as entire worlds vanished in flashes of light. However, Dr. Brown continued with a slight smile. "They don't know about Project Guardian." The chamber grew silent. Project Guardian had been humanity's best-kept secret for the past 20 years. Ever since they had discovered the remains of an ancient alien ship on Mars, Earth's best scientists had been reverse engineering its technology and improving upon it. Wilson pressed a button on his desk, and a new hologram appeared. Massive orbital platforms surrounding Earth, hidden by advanced cloaking technology. "We aren't the helpless civilization they think we are. While they were busy conquering others, we were preparing." Admiral Thompson stood again. "Our fleet is ready. The Guardian platforms are at full power, and our new quantum weapons are tested and operational. They think we're primitive because we haven't expanded aggressively into space. That was a choice, not a limitation." The chamber's mood shifted from fear to determination. Humanity had always excelled when faced with threats. This would be no different. "There's more," Dr. Brown added. "Our spies report that the Council has never faced serious resistance. They've grown complacent, arrogant. They don't adapt their tactics because they've never needed to." Wilson looked around the chamber, meeting each council member's eyes. "We have 30 days, not to surrender, but to prepare our response. They expect us to either submit or launch a desperate, disorganized defense. They don't expect what we're about to do." The defense minister raised his hand. "The testing of the quantum torpedoes is complete. One shot can take out their largest ships. We have enough to arm our entire fleet." "And the AI battle systems?" Wilson asked. "Online and running scenarios. They're predicting an 89% success rate against the Council's known tactics." Wilson stood, his voice filling the chamber. "For centuries, humanity dreamed of meeting alien life. We hoped for peace, for exchange of knowledge. Instead, they threatened our extinction. They'll learn why that was a mistake." As if on cue, the chamber's screens lit up with a new message from the Council. Their leader, a tall being with gray skin and multiple eyes, spoke in a condescending tone. "We hope you're considering our generous offer, humans. Remember, resistance has never succeeded against us. Submit, and you may live as our servants." Wilson's reply was brief. "Message received. Expect our response in 30 days." After the transmission ended, he turned to the chamber. "Send out the coded alerts. Wake up our sleeper ships in the Kuiper Belt. Activate all Guardian platforms. Begin evacuating civilians to the underground cities. When they come expecting surrender, we'll show them why humanity has survived every threat we've ever faced." The council members stood as one, their purpose clear. Earth had 30 days to prepare its surprise for the Galactic Council, and it would be a surprise they would never forget. The first step of humanity's vicious revenge was about to begin. The massive underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains hummed with activity. Technicians rushed between rows of quantum computers while military officers studied holographic battle maps. This was humanity's hidden heart of war, unknown to the Galactic Council. Admiral Thompson walked through the command center, watching as Earth's true military might awakened. For 20 years, they had hidden their strength, letting the galaxy think they were just another developing civilization. That deception was about to end. Status report, he called out to the command staff. Major Tom stepped forward with a tablet. Guardian platforms 1 through 50 are now visible to Council sensors. They think they've just discovered our orbital defense network. He smiled. They don't know about platforms 51 through 500, still in stealth mode. The Admiral nodded. The plan was working perfectly. Let the Council see just enough to make them overconfident. And the quantum fleet. Rising from the ocean bases now, sir. The Council's scouts are detecting them. As expected, they're moving to investigate. On the main screen, they watched as 3 crystalline Council ships approached Earth's atmosphere. They were massive, each one 5 kilometers long, bristling with weapons that had destroyed countless civilizations. Deploy Test Squadron 1, Thompson ordered. Let's show them their first surprise. 5 small Earth ships rose to meet the Council vessels. Each one was only 100 meters long, seemingly primitive compared to the alien warships. The Council ships didn't even power up their main weapons, considering the Earth vessels too insignificant to be a threat. That was their first mistake. Quantum torpedoes armed, Major Tom announced. Firing solutions ready. Thompson watched the tactical display. The Council ships were broadcasting openly, their commanders laughing at Earth's pathetic response. They had no idea that their signals were being analyzed by Earth's AI battle systems, finding weaknesses in their shields. Fire. 5 quantum torpedoes launched, each one smaller than a car. The Council ships didn't even try to evade. Why should they? Their shields had never failed in 10,000 years. The torpedoes phased through the alien shields like they didn't exist. Each one struck with perfect precision, targeting the weak points the AI had identified. 3 massive explosions lit up Earth's orbit. In the command center, there was no celebration. This was just the beginning. Send the recording to all Council observation posts, Thompson ordered. Let them see what happened to their invincible ships. The response was immediate. Council communications erupted with panic. Their scouts had just watched 3 of their best ships destroyed by weapons they couldn't even understand. Dr. Brown entered the command center, her face excited. Admiral, the quantum readings are even better than we hoped. Their shield technology is based on principles we surpassed 5 years ago. They'd been using the same systems for so long. They never thought to improve them. Thompson turned to a different screen, showing Earth's true fleet rising from hidden bases on the moon, under the oceans, and in deep space. 10,000 ships, each one more advanced than anything the Council had ever seen. Deploy Phase 2, he ordered. Show them our fleet's real size. Across the solar system, humanity's ships dropped their stealth fields. Council sensors lit up as they detected the massive armada. Their communications became even more panicked. Sir, Major Tom called out, we're detecting Council ships jumping in at the edge of the system. A lot of them. Thompson smiled. Right on schedule. They're responding exactly as the AI predicted. Their tactics haven't changed in centuries. The main screen showed hundreds of Council ships arriving, forming their standard attack pattern. It was an impressive sight, but nothing compared to what Earth had prepared. Enable the quantum disruption field, Thompson ordered. Suddenly, every Council ship in the system found their engines and weapons failing. Their supposedly advanced technology was being shut down by fields they couldn't even detect. In the Council's command ship, their admiral watched in horror as Earth's fleet approached, completely unaffected by the same field that had crippled his ships. "Send the message," Thompson commanded. Every Council ship received the same transmission. "This is just a small demonstration of Earth's strength. You have 29 days left to reconsider your ultimatum. Next time, we won't just disable your ships." The hidden strength of humanity was hidden no longer. And this was only the beginning of the Council's shocking education about their intended victims. The Galactic Council's main fleet arrived with the arrogance of 10,000 years of victory, 10,000 ships strong. They filled the space between Mars and Earth, their crystalline vessels gleaming in the sunlight. Their supreme commander, Admiral Rex, stood confidently on his bridge, preparing to teach these upstart humans their final lesson. "Begin the standard attack pattern," he ordered. "These humans have had their moment of defiance. Now they'll learn why no one resists the Council." His fleet moved forward in perfect formation, the same tactics that had won countless battles. They didn't bother with evasive maneuvers. Why should they? Their shields were invincible against primitive weapons. In Earth's command center, Admiral Thompson watched the approaching fleet with calm eyes. Time to show them why adaptability beats tradition. Activate Defense Pattern Omega. The space around Earth suddenly lit up. The 500 Guardian platforms that had remained hidden revealed themselves, but not as the simple defense stations the Council expected. Each platform transformed, segments shifting and combining, until Earth was surrounded by a network of interconnected quantum weapons. "Sir," Major Tom reported, "the Council fleet has stopped advancing. They're scanning our defense grid." "Of course they are," Dr. Brown said, monitoring the quantum readings. "They've never seen anything like this. Their sensors can't even understand what they're looking at." The Council fleet resumed their advance, but slower now, uncertainty creeping into their perfect formation. Admiral Rex frowned as his sensors failed to penetrate the strange energy field surrounding Earth. "These are just tricks," he announced to his fleet. "Press the attack. Show them true power." The Council ships fired their main weapons, energy beams that could crack planets. They struck Earth's defensive network and vanished. Not deflected, not absorbed, simply ceased to exist. "Now," Thompson ordered, "show them how Earth fights." The defensive network pulsed. Quantum fields reached out across space, ignoring shields and armor like they weren't there. Council ships began disappearing, not exploding, not breaking apart, but simply vanishing from existence as their quantum structures were erased from reality. Admiral Rex watched in horror as his fleet evaporated. Impossible. Change formation. Adapt the shields. But his crew had no idea how to adapt. They had never needed to change their tactics, never faced an enemy who could do the impossible. In their panic, their perfect formation broke apart. "Second wave," Thompson commanded. Earth's hidden fleet emerged from fold space directly among the Council ships. These weren't the small vessels from the earlier demonstration. These were Earth's true warships, each one armed with weapons that bent reality itself. The battle, if it could be called that, lasted less than 10 minutes. When it ended, 9,000 Council ships had been erased from existence. The remaining 1,000 fled in terror, their perfectly crafted formations forgotten in their desperation to escape. Admiral Rex's ship was one of the few that remained, trapped in a quantum field that prevented retreat. Earth's largest warship approached, dwarfing his command vessel. "Admiral," Major Tom announced, "the Council's Supreme Commander is hailing us." Thompson nodded. "Put him on screen." Admiral Rex's face appeared, his arrogance replaced by shock and fear. "How? How is this possible? You were supposed to be primitive." "Your mistake," Thompson replied calmly, "was thinking that because we didn't expand aggressively, we weren't advancing. While you spent 10,000 years conquering, we spent our time learning, improving, evolving. You never faced a real challenge, so you never grew stronger. We faced challenges every day of our existence, and each one made us better." He leaned forward, Return to your council. Show them the recordings of this battle. You have 28 days left to surrender. After that, we start erasing council worlds, not just ships. And Admiral, this was just our defensive fleet. You haven't seen our offensive capabilities yet. The transmission ended, and the quantum field released the surviving council ships. They fled at maximum speed, not even trying to maintain formation. In the command center, Dr. Brown turned to Thompson. They'll be back, with everything they have. Good, Thompson replied. It's time the galaxy learned why you should never threaten humanity with extinction. We don't take kindly to that. Earth's first true interstellar battle was over. The real war was about to begin. The mood in the Galactic Council's emergency chamber was frantic. Representatives from 200 species argued and shouted, their previous unity shattered by Earth's demonstration of power. The recordings of their fleet's destruction played on endless loop on the chamber screens, a constant reminder of their failure. On Earth, Admiral Thompson stood before a holographic map of Council space. The defeated Council fleet had unknowingly carried quantum trackers back with them, revealing the location of every major Council world and installation. Operation Thunderstrike is ready, Major Tom reported. Our offensive fleet is in position. Thompson studied the map. Begin Phase 1. Show them what a real invasion looks like. Across Council space, alarms began blaring as Earth's offensive fleet emerged from quantum space. Unlike the defensive ships that had protected Earth, these vessels were built for one purpose: overwhelming force. The Council's home defense fleets scrambled to respond, but they were fighting an enemy that could appear anywhere, ignore their shields, and vanish before they could react. Earth's ships phased through solid matter, appeared inside planetary shields, and struck with weapons that rewrote the laws of physics. Sir, Dr. Brown called out, monitoring the quantum feeds, the Council is attempting to adapt their shields. They're trying to copy our technology. Thompson shook his head. Too little, too late. They had 10,000 years to innovate. Now they have minutes. On the Council throne world, panic spread as reports flooded in. Earth's ships had appeared simultaneously at 50 major worlds. The Council's carefully constructed power structure was being dismantled with surgical precision. Status report, Thompson demanded. Major Tom's fingers flew over his console. Phase 1 complete. 23 shipyards destroyed. 32 military bases neutralized. 0 civilian casualties as ordered. The Council's military infrastructure is in chaos. Earth had chosen its targets carefully. No civilian populations, no inhabited worlds. Only military targets. They were teaching the Council a lesson about precision warfare, showing them that true power meant control, not just destruction. Launch Phase 2, Thompson ordered. Earth's ships appeared in the heart of Council territory, but this time they didn't attack. Instead, they broadcast a message to every Council world and ship. Your military cannot protect you. Your technology cannot stop us. But unlike you, we don't destroy civilian populations. Surrender, and no more lives need be lost. The Council chamber erupted in chaos as the message played. Representatives from smaller worlds began demanding immediate surrender. Others called for deploying planet-killing weapons in desperation. Sir, Major Tom reported, detecting multiple Council fleets converging on our positions. They're trying to copy our quantum jump signatures. Let them come, Thompson replied. Activate the trap. As the Council fleets arrived, they found themselves caught in quantum fields that twisted space itself. Their ships froze in place, weapons powerless, shields useless. Earth's fleet surrounded them, not firing, just demonstrating their total control of the battlefield. Dr. Brown studied her readings. Their attempts to analyze our technology are failing. They can't understand the basic principles. They'd been relying on the same tech for so long, they'd forgotten how to truly innovate. In the Council chamber, the High Council was voting. For the first time in 10,000 years, they were considering surrender. The human ships had bypassed every defense, neutralized every weapon, and demonstrated power beyond their understanding. Thompson watched the Council's deliberations through quantum interceptors. Send the final message. Every screen in Council space lit up with his words. You threatened Earth with extinction. We've shown you a fraction of our capability. You have 27 days to offer your complete surrender. After that, we start dismantling your empire piece by piece. This is not a negotiation. The Council representatives stared at the message in silence. Their invincible empire had been broken in a single day. Their mighty fleets were helpless. Their advanced technology was obsolete. And this was just the beginning of Earth's counterattack. Recall the fleet, Thompson ordered. Let them spend the next day counting their losses and realizing just how completely we could have destroyed them if we wished. Earth's ships vanished, leaving the Council to face a terrifying reality. They were no longer the most powerful force in the galaxy. Humanity had claimed that title, and they had done it without destroying a single civilian target. The message was clear: surrender or face technological extinction. The Galactic Council's Grand Chamber, once a symbol of unified power, had descended into absolute chaos. Species that had been allies for thousands of years now turned on each other, each blaming the others for underestimating Earth's capabilities. You said their technology was primitive, shouted the representative of the Starborn Empire at his former allies. Now my fleet is gone, erased from existence by weapons we can't even understand. The Council's High Speaker tried to restore order, but his voice was drowned out by the angry roars and shrieks of 200 species facing their first real defeat in millennia. On the massive screens above, reports continued streaming in of Earth's forces appearing and disappearing across Council space, dismantling military installations with surgical precision. In Earth's command center, Admiral Thompson watched the political meltdown with satisfaction. Psychological warfare status. Dr. Brown smiled as she checked her readings. Better than expected. Our quantum broadcasts are reaching every Council world. They're seeing everything. Their fleets vanishing, their defenses failing, and most importantly, their leaders panicking. The Council's careful image of invincibility was shattering. Every world under their control was watching their mighty empire crumble before an enemy they had foolishly threatened. Sir, Major Tom reported, we're detecting multiple unauthorized transmissions from Council worlds. They're trying to contact us separately. Many are offering to switch sides. Thompson nodded. Just as predicted. Send them all the same response. All surrenders must be unconditional and complete. No negotiations with individual worlds until the Council itself surrenders. On the Council throne world, the streets were filled with protesters. Species that had been bitter enemies now united in their demand for surrender. They had watched Earth's forces bypass their strongest defenses like they weren't there, yet leave civilian populations completely untouched. It was a display of power and restraint that terrified them more than any planet-destroying weapon. In the Council chamber, the High Speaker finally managed to restore some order. We must unite. We cannot let these humans divide us. Unite, laughed the military commander of the drift colonies. With what? Our fleets are useless. Our weapons can't touch them. And now our own populations are turning against us. Look at these reports. 15 major worlds are threatening to declare independence. The political structure that had held for 10,000 years was collapsing in days. The Council had maintained power through fear and superior technology. Now they faced an enemy whose technology made theirs look primitive and who showed no fear at all. New development, Dr. Brown announced in Earth's command center. The Council's military command structure is fragmenting. 3 major fleet groups have gone dark. They're refusing orders from the Central Command. Thompson studied the tactical display. Show them what happens to forces that try to operate independently. Earth's ships appeared around the breakaway fleets. No attacks, no threats. They simply surrounded them in quantum fields that shut down every system. The message was clear. Resistance was pointless. In the Council chamber, the final blow to their unity came when their most advanced research worlds reported their findings. We cannot replicate or counter their technology. The principles behind it are beyond our current understanding. Even if we devoted a century to research, we would still be far behind. The council representatives looked at each other in despair. Their mighty empire had been built on technological superiority. Now they faced a civilization that made their greatest achievements look like children's toys. Report from the council chamber, Major Tom announced. 27 worlds have officially broken away from the council. They're declaring themselves independent and seeking separate peace with Earth. Thompson watched the political collapse with satisfaction. Right on schedule. Send the next message. Every screen in council space lit up again. You have 26 days remaining. Every day you delay surrender, more of your empire crumbles. This is the cost of threatening Earth with extinction. The council's political chaos was complete. Their unity was shattered, their authority broken, their power revealed as an illusion before Earth's superior capabilities. And they still didn't know what else humanity had planned for them. The Council Throne World's defenses were their strongest ever built. Every ship, every weapon, every scrap of technology they possessed was concentrated around their capital. The remnants of their once mighty fleet formed a defensive shell that would have stopped any conventional attack. But Earth's forces weren't conventional. Admiral Thompson stood on the bridge of Earth's flagship, the Humanity's Will, as it emerged from quantum space directly above the Council's capital city. Behind him, 10,000 Earth ships appeared simultaneously, ignoring the defensive screens like they weren't there. Final status report, he ordered. Major Tom checked his displays. The Council has mobilized everything they have left. 3 million ships, sir. It would be impressive if they could actually hurt us. The Council's supreme military commander, still believing in his superior numbers, broadcast on all frequencies. You may have advanced technology, humans, but you cannot stand against our combined might. Surrender now. Thompson allowed himself a small smile. Show them our true power. Full demonstration. Earth's ships activated their quantum fields at full strength for the first time. Space itself seemed to twist around them. The Council fleet watched in horror as their weapons dissolved into nothing before they could fire. Their shields flickered and died. Their engines went silent. But Earth wasn't done. The quantum fields expanded, and Council ships began to transform. Some turned to glass. Others became clouds of harmless light. A few simply reversed their quantum state, becoming perfect antimatter copies that vanished in tiny flashes. Sir, Dr. Brown reported from her station, the Council's final defensive line is broken. Their leadership bunker is exposed. In that bunker, the High Council watched their last defense crumble. The mighty fleet that had terrorized the galaxy for 10,000 years was being undone by forces they couldn't even comprehend. Begin the final phase, Thompson commanded. Earth's ships began systematically erasing the Council's military installations from existence. Not destroying, erasing. Buildings, weapons, entire bases simply ceased to exist, leaving perfectly smooth ground behind. The demonstration of power was absolute. The Council's military commander screamed orders that no one could follow. Their weapons were useless, their shields meaningless, their tactics, unchanged for millennia, fell apart against an enemy that could rewrite the laws of physics at will. Message from the Council chamber, Major Tom announced. They're begging for mercy. Thompson activated the communication channel. The High Speaker's face appeared, all arrogance gone, replaced by pure terror. Please, the speaker whispered, we surrender. Completely, unconditionally. Just tell us what you want. What we want. Thompson replied calmly. We want you to understand the magnitude of your mistake. You threatened to exterminate humanity. You thought us weak because we didn't conquer others. You never realized that true strength comes from advancement, not conquest. On every Council world, screens showed the complete dismantling of their capital's defenses. The message was clear. Resistance was not just futile, it was impossible. Send the final ultimatum, Thompson ordered. Earth's ships surrounded the Council capital in a perfect sphere of power. The message broadcasted to every corner of their former empire. Your military is gone. Your defenses are useless. Your technology is obsolete. You have 1 hour to surrender complete control of the Galactic Council to Earth's authority. After that, we start erasing entire worlds. The Council chamber erupted in panic. Representatives rushed to transmit their surrender. The mighty Galactic Council, undefeated for 10,000 years, had been broken in less than a month. "Sir," Dr. Brown reported, "quantum scans show they're destroying their own weapons. Every Council world is dismantling their military. They're terrified we'll think they're resisting." Thompson nodded. "Humanity's first galactic victory is complete. Now we show them how real leaders govern." The breaking point had been reached. The Council's power was broken, their arrogance shattered, their empire ended. Now Earth would reshape the galaxy, not through conquest like the Council, but through advancement and innovation. The era of the Galactic Council was over. The age of humanity had begun. 1 month after the Council's surrender, the former Council chamber had been transformed. Gone were the ornate symbols of Council power, replaced by simple, elegant designs that spoke of Earth's practical approach to governance. Admiral Thompson, now appointed as Earth's first galactic governor, stood before representatives of 300 worlds, the former Council members, and the many civilizations they had oppressed. "The old era is over," he announced to the gathered species. "Earth's leadership will be different from the Council's. We don't seek to dominate, but to elevate. Every world here will have an equal voice." The chamber was silent, not from fear, but from shock. For 10,000 years, the Council had ruled through force. Now these humans, who had demonstrated power beyond imagination, spoke of equality. Dr. Brown stepped forward, displaying the new galactic charter on the chamber screens. "First, all advanced technology will be shared. No more hoarding of knowledge. Earth's quantum science will be taught to any world that wishes to learn." The representatives murmured in surprise. The Council had maintained power by keeping advanced technology to themselves. These humans were offering to share innovations that had defeated an empire. "Second," Major Tom continued, "all worlds will retain their independence. There will be no forced tributes, no mandatory military service, no conquest. The only requirement is adherence to the basic laws of peace and cooperation." Former Council worlds that had expected harsh punishment found themselves being offered partnership instead. Worlds that had suffered under Council rule were being given equal status with their former oppressors. Thompson activated a holographic display showing the new defensive network. "Earth will maintain peace in the galaxy, but we will not rule it. Our quantum fleets will protect all worlds equally. Our technology will benefit everyone." The first test of the new order came when a former Council commander, unable to accept the change, launched a hidden fleet against Earth. The response was immediate, but not what anyone expected. Earth's ships appeared around the rebel fleet, but instead of destroying them, they simply transported every crew member safely to their homeworlds. The empty ships were then transformed into agricultural stations to feed hungry worlds. "This is how Earth handles rebellion," Thompson explained to the watching galaxy. "Not with destruction, but with transformation. Not with punishment, but with progress." Dr. Brown's team began organizing classes in quantum physics for scientists from every world. Major Tom established a new combined fleet, where ships from former Council worlds trained alongside Earth vessels, learning new ways of thinking about space and time. "Status report," Thompson requested at the end of the first month. "Remarkable progress," Dr. Brown replied. "Many worlds are already grasping the basics of quantum science. Their innovation, freed from Council restrictions, is impressive." Major Tom nodded. "The combined fleet is operating at 40% efficiency. Former Council worlds are learning to think creatively, to adapt and innovate. They're becoming real allies." The galaxy was transforming. Worlds that had cowered under council rule now stood tall. Species that had been enemies for millennia worked together in quantum laboratories. The peace wasn't maintained by fear of Earth's power, but by the opportunities Earth's leadership provided. In the council chamber, now renamed the Galactic Assembly, Thompson addressed the gathered representatives one final time that day. "Remember this lesson," he said quietly. "Earth didn't defeat the council because we were naturally superior. We won because we never stopped learning, never stopped improving, never became satisfied with our achievements. That's the real power humanity brings to the galaxy, not our weapons, but our endless drive to be better." The new order was established. Earth had taken an empire built on fear and transformed it into a federation built on progress. The species that had threatened humanity with extinction now looked to Earth for leadership and guidance. And in laboratories across the galaxy, quantum science advanced as hundreds of worlds added their unique perspectives to humanity's innovations. The age of stagnation was over. The new age of endless progress had begun.